Banger after banger.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter or TikTok, the community post. You already know the vibes. And we're here with the NXT review. Now, I'll be remiss if I didn't talk about this. Even though it's an NXT review, it still relates to an AEW talent who talked about a WWE talent, so you know it all correlates in a way. So Tony Khan is out here wilding out in these streets, you know what I'm saying, in these Twitter streets yet again. He's responding to the USA Network, he's responding to Jinder Mahal and Eric Bischoff and all these people, and it's like, bro, we gotta bring it back. If you know what I'm talking about, last year Tony Khan was wilding out, so I started this campaign, this video. For every like this video gets, this goes towards the Tony Khan put the phone down and stop tweeting so damn much. I think that's what I called it. It was either that or the Tony Khan shut the hell up foundation or whatever. Every time you like this video, every like goes toward this foundation. We can stop Tony Khan from tweeting one like at a time. Please do what you can to donate to this noble cause, please. But as far as NXT goes, we have a new North American champion. That's right, a new North American champion. Now, earlier in the show, a match was signed, the main event between Lexis King and Dragon Lee. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of random, but you know, I'm here for it. You know, Dragon Lee is awesome, and you know, he gets to beat up Lexis King, and that's also awesome too. So the main event happens. Dragon Lee wins. Earlier in the show, Oba Femi was talking about what it meant to him to win the breakout tournament, to be the new breakout tournament winner, and who he's gonna cash in this contract on. And out of nowhere, Lexis King interrupts Oba Femi, and this what led to the downfall of Dragon Lee, because Oba Femi was like, well, he's competing for the North American Championship in the main event, right? And the interview was like, yeah. So he starts looking at him like, yeah, I'm gonna get you, bitch. And it wasn't Lexis King he got, it was Dragon Lee. So after the Lexis King Dragon Lee match, Oba Femi cashes in his contract, and Dragon Lee did a good job of trying to fight off as best as he could, but you know, he was no match for the brute force of Oba Femi, and we have a new North American champion. And I'm really surprised by this. I'm surprised by the fact that he cashed in so soon. I'm surprised by the fact that he's a champion so soon. I'm not mad at it, because I like Oba Femi. I feel like he has a bright future. He's only 22 years old. This is like the oldest looking 22-year-old I've ever seen in my entire life. I will never say this to his face. I'm saying this to you on YouTube, but you know, yeah. But Oba Femi, bright future, big dude, man, talented. He's pretty good on the mic and he's good in the ring. So, you know, obviously WWE believes in him. I believe in him. You should believe in Oba Femi too. But as far as the rest of this episode of NXT, we have the beginnings of the Dusty Cup tournament. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker taking on Gallus. And I'm going to say it right now, these are my favorites to win. Definitely not Gallus because they absolutely suck. But Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. And you know how these things go with like two random guys being thrown together. The whole thing is, can they coexist? And honestly, they actually got along really well. There was never any signs of like dissension. It was a little bit of growing pains between the two, but you know, because it's their first time tagging together as a team, so there's that. But other than that, they work together really well. It's two big dudes just beating the hell out of people. They beat the hell out of Gallus, so that's always a win because I don't really care for Gallus. So Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin advanced to the next round. And as far as who else advanced, yeah, the team of Nathan Frazier and Axiom, like the fastest team ever. So they beat Hank and Tank. So they're going on to the next round. And I think they're going to wrestle Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker. So it's going to be a real showcase of power versus speed. So that should be interesting. And speaking of the Dusty Cup tournament, you have the final team being involved, and that's Trick Mello Gang. Now, Carmelo Hayes approached Trick with the proposition of them competing in the tournament, but Trick's like, listen, I need to be focused on on Ilya Dragunov, because even though he's injured, he's gonna come back, and when he comes back, I'm gonna get my shot at the NXT championship. But it seems like even though Carmelo has the best intentions, so it seems, it looks like he's trying to distract Trick from finishing his story and becoming the NXT champion, possibly. He's trying to do everything in his power to get gold around his waist and distract Trick Williams from, his mission. So something that was really interesting was how this show started off. So it started off with Nikita Lyons and Blair Davenport beating the hell out of each other in the most dangerous place on the face of the planet, the NXT parking lot. And these two hate each other so much that they fought in the parking lot, they fought in the back, they took a timeout to change, put the wrestling gear on, started fighting again, and they were the opening match of the evening. And Blair Davenport won. To my surprise, I was thinking that Nikita Lyons would pull out the victory, but Blair Davenport won. She was really working over the knee of Nikita Lyons. I think she was working on both knees, and that led to the downfall of Nikita. So, maybe Blair will go after the NXT Women's Championship again. Who knows? I don't know. Only time will tell. Speaking of the NXT Women's Championship, we had Lyra Valkyria come out, and she said that, she wants to know who's next, who's up next to face her for the NXT Women's Championship. So she proposed to Ava that next week is going to be a 20-woman battle royale. And when it comes down to the final 4 women, that will turn into a fatal 4-way match. And then whenever that fatal 4-way will go on to be the #1 contender to fight Lyra Valkyria at Vengeance Day, the next PLE for the NXT WWE brand. And the whole time I'm listening to Lyra describe this, I'm like, what in the name of TNA is going on? Because this sounds like the most TNA type match ever. That doesn't mean it'll be anything good or anything bad. I feel like it'll be a good match. And, it'll be cool to see who the final 4 will be, and then who will be the #1 contender will be. So there's that. But one person who is guaranteed a title shot against Lyra Valkyria, whoever the NXT Women's Champion will be, is Lola Vice. She, of course, is the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament winner. So she has her contract that says whenever she wants the title shot, she got it. So she's coming out to talk trash to Lyra Valkyria. And Lyra came back with a smoke. She was like, listen, Lyra said that she's not here to watch Lola shake her ass on Instagram. And I'm like, speak for yourself, sister. I am. But she's also, sowing a little bit of seeds of dissension between Lola Vice and Alexia Lopez. Because Alexia Lopez feels like it's gonna be her and Lola winning the tag team championships. So there's that. So they start fighting, and Tatum Paxley comes out with a save. So next week is gonna be Tatum Paxley and Lyra Valkyria taking on Alexia Lopez and Lola Vice. So that should be some interesting graps. And I'm always here to see Lola Vice either wrestle or shake her ass on Instagram. After this, we had a match between Ora Mensah and Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs called Ora Mensah the sidekick to Noam Dar. So that's how this match popped off. And Josh Briggs got the win. It was a pretty dope match. Pretty interesting to see Josh Briggs hitting that good old clothesline from hell like JBL used to. So the spirit of JBL lives on. Cool. So earlier I mentioned the Dusty Cup, which is a #1 contenders match for the tag team titles. And speaking of those tag team titles, we had the D'Angelo family defending those titles against OTM. And surprisingly, this match was a whole lot better than I thought it would be. Like, it was pretty good, man. It was a pretty good match, pretty solid. The D'Angelo family ended up getting the win. However, after this, OTM, they're looking defeated. They're looking down. They're like, yo, we should have won those tag team titles. And you know who agreed with them? Jaida, fine behind Parker. And she's like, listen, I'm willing to give y'all advice. We can work together. We can figure this out because y'all should be the tag team champions, and I'm willing to help y'all out. So it's looking like Jaida Parker is joining up with OTM, and OTM has officially become my new favorite stable because of Jaida Parker and nobody else. Chase U needs money, so JC Jane is recruiting the students from Chase U, and it looks like it's all females. So I'm like, what in the name of Butters trying to, become a pimp is going on? I don't know if that's where this is going, but JC Jane has an idea of how to get the money. We'll see. We'll see where this goes, man. We'll see. Gigi Dolan lost to Cora Jade. That was a pretty good match. It was solid. not really too much to say about that. But something I do want to talk about is the ongoing story that happened throughout this episode of NXT, and that is Tiffany Stratton being a farmhand for Fallon Henley. So Fallon Henley, she's at the farm, she's at the ranch or whatever. Her and her crew, they're all waiting for Tiffany Stratton to show up, but she's late. Tiffany Stratton shows up dressed like cowgirl Barbie, like she has this pink cowboy hat on. She has high heels on, a furry little whatever on. So they had Tiffany Stratton out here cleaning horses and barns and shoveling horse shit. And she even fell into like a tub of water that was used to bathe the horses and everything. Like she stepped in horse shit. So it was a pretty entertaining segment. Tiffany Stratton's like, listen, I'm tired, I'm hurt, I'm working with fucking cow people and whatever. And Fallon Henley and her crew, they're laughing up the whole situation. So it was a pretty entertaining segment. Like, it was multiple segments throughout the show. It was like 3 segments in total. So that was pretty funny. That was like one of the things I was looking forward to the most out of this episode of NXT. The shenanigans and hijinks that would take place with Tiffany Stratton and Fallon Henley, and they didn't disappoint. So with that being said, man, that was this week's episode of NXT. Next week's episode of NXT looks pretty stacked with the Dusty tournament and the women's Battle Royale Impact Wrestling type tournament or whatever they got going on. So with that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts of this week's episode of NXT in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Bees, I'm out. Peace.